How did we cope at the pandemic? Well, paano nga ba? How did you able to manage the lockdown, quarantine, ECQ and GCQ and all? How did you survive not going out of your house for how many? How did you able to manage na hindi gumala na ilang araw? Na ilang araw? Months pa talaga. Well, I think ang dami nagbago during the pandemic era. We cannot just go out the way we used to before. Of course, there's a lot of rules that we have to obey. Ang daming rules na sinet during this pandemic era. It is for also our own safety. Wear your face mask, face shield, and also, may ka ng alcohol para safety baby. And also, daming kailangan gawin. Daming mga requirements bago ka lumabas. Like FM pass, the FM pass, code, and you can also use your ID if you're an employee. Kung madaming disadvantage during the quarantine, well, masasabi ko rin na ang daming advantage ito. Well, we ought to take times, diba? Ngayon, nabibigyan na natin yun. Yung time natin sa pamilya natin, yung time na we ought to give sana before but hindi natin yung magagawa kasi mas nauna yung gala. Yung school and anything. Kaya ang dami ng time with your family. Pag-usap na kayo kasi, diba noon, busy din sa work kasi ganito ganyan. Pero ngayon, grabe talaga. Grabe yung times. Sana all na lang. Diba? Especially those who stay with their families during the lockdowns. Well, I'm happy that I may not be in my family, but I'm happy. Kasi I owe to be with my friend. Well, so you can see, daming tao, no? Ay, ang liit na pala. Well, liit na ng mall. Wala. So this is the new normal. It's not like what we seen before, di ba? Ang daming tao sa mall. Ngayon, hindi na. Well, let's talk about how does really pandemic changes each persona. Well, let's talk about it after this video. And also, with regarding about the political self, the digital self, material self, and the physical self. Let's watch this.
Let's talk about the physical self, digital self, material self, and the political self. Let's watch this!
Material self.
Hello guys, so welcome to my vlog. So, ingali din na siya guys. In the midst of the quarantine, katong bago pa nag-start ang lockdown, nahilig ko mag-watch sa mga Shopee Live. And
Sabihin mo lang, salamat Shopee!
gusto dyan ko ko mag-buy o mga sweatshirt. Feeling ako kay happy kaayo ko sa inaha. So, mauto nagtan ako sa isa ka seller din. Daghan kaayo ko gipalit jud like as in mo 10 plus. Then feeling ako naabot na 20 ang collection as of now. And happy man pud ko. Okay. Aside sa sweatshirts, ganahan pud ay ko og shoes, specifically mga sneakers, and gahapon sa 11/11 I mean, nag-buy ko og sa Adidas. Ang ganahan jud ko magpalit kong mga sneakers and sweatshirts kay feeling ako na sense of accomplishment after na ko siya pag na siya sa ako like sa akong posisyon. Yung sa ako ang kanya ko mga gipampalit sa Shopee sa mga clothes kay kanang sa quarantine karon kay nalang ta sa four corners atong like board jud kaayo ta and music lahi ramang good like sa new normal karon kay like daghan kayo space sa atong brain like lahi ra kung normal day like dati nga wala pa ang pandemic like mabisi kaayo ta maglakaw-lakaw karon nalang ta diri sa kwarto like so board jud kaayo ta then nakatabang siya sa ako feel better na ko na-expect maabot after our how many days. Then pag madawat ako siya pag magtuktok na ang rider kay mga pidjud ko. So, ang body, not siya ginatawag na innermost part of material self like naga-care jud ta kaayo sa atong body. So, sa akong experience sa new normal is dati dili jud ko kaya naga-take of vitamins like so okay lang sa ako kasakit yung anak pero karon kay bawal na siya like miski mag-ubo lang ka sa public places or maga-fever kay dili ta pasudon sa mall so importante jud karon nga alagaan nato tong body so akong experience sa new normal kay nag-take na ko karon og vitamins then exercise para maalagaan akong body Like, dili jud siya dapat pabayaan karon samot na kay pandemic. Like, kung hina ang imong immune system, like, kung magpa-check up ka, then, basig sure nga pangalagaan jud nato atong self, nga healthy ta, then, pag mo gawas ta sa atong balay, kay always wash our hands, then magdala jud og alcohol para dili ta positive sa COVID. Also, of course, given na mag-mask ta and face shield, of course. Things we possess is important because it becomes part of ourselves. It somehow shows what kind of person you are, especially how we react when faced with challenges such as COVID-19 pandemic that is really affecting our lives on a daily. So keep safe, guys.
Hello, J Marians. Hello, pandemic fighters. This is Darlin, the material self bagger. Shout out material self. So what is, according to William James, pertains to the objects, places, or even people which have the label mind. Such possessions are viewed as extensions of individuals' identity.
For instance, your clothes reflect certain aspects of your personality and you designate them as my wardrobe. Specifically, James identified the body as the innermost aspect of the material self. Also, you perceive certain body parts as most private or intimately yours as compared to the others. The next aspect is your clothing, the garments, which protect as well as project your body. This is followed by your family. They are connected to you by blood, you share their glory as well as your shame. Your home comes next. It is where many aspects of your life have been developed. It is where you feel most comfortable, and it is greatly linked to your identity. This is then followed by your other possessions, such as gadgets and
Material self doesn't always talk about places, things, and possession, but rather it talks about the person, the people you are with, and the memories that you shared with the places that you've been, and the things that makes you happy. Material self is natural self. It builds us who we are because it gives us chances and freedom to find what happiness really is. I hope you learn a lot from it.
digital self.
So hi everyone, by the way, my name is Jasamay Canedo, and now I'm going to give a brief explanation about the digital aspect of the self. So what is the digital self? So it is the mask that we put on to engage the technological world. So it pertains to what and who we are inside the digital world. So the digital self is where our sense of mind and self is created and expressed through online interactions, since we are now engaging with social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Skype, and such. So we use those social media platforms to share information about ourselves, to post and update, and to communicate. So all of this technology has come at us so fast and furiously that we haven't had the time to think about our relationship with it and how it shapes our identity. Because in the digital world, there are some people who maintain or possess one or more online identities that are different from the real world.
Hi, I am Christine Alas, and my topic for today is about the digital aspect of the self or new normal setup. As a student, studying online is very difficult due to an unstable internet connection we have in the Philippines. A negative part of it is when students are always facing their gadgets, their cell phones, and their computers all day, every day. This kind of activity can affect our eyes and also our own health as well. As I am experiencing this digital setup, I always felt like my eyes hurt or swollen sometimes. Nevertheless, digital setup also made me earn money for myself using social media. I tried online selling, which motivated me to do my best as a student. This can make me provide for my personal expenses, and also I can provide for my school tuition fee as well. Everyone is struggling today. Let us use what we have on positivity. All of us suffer because of this pandemic and natural calamities, but let us all use this as our resources to rise up again as a human and as a Filipino being.
Physical self.
Hey guys, so ayun na nga, quarantine pa rin tayo ngayon. How's your quarantine life going so far naman? Yes, I know that all of us had missed the life we had before this pandemic. We miss going outside because it's our life before the pandemic, right? We miss going out with our friends, hanging out with them, eating outside, watch cinemas, and also I know you guys miss the face-to-face classes. But tonight I am here to discuss about the physical self. I know that this pandemic had brought all the negative things that we could ever imagine, that we never expected that would happen. But somehow, this pandemic has brought a positive thing in a way that we were able to do the things that we were not able to do before this pandemic. And in linked to our physical self, and I am talking about the human body, well, based on my experience during this quarantine, I was able to do fitness exercises. Sino ba sa inyo dito yung during quarantine is nag-exercise na? Well, I hope that some of you are. And that is one of the things that I was able to do during the quarantine. Because before the pandemic, alam natin na all of us are busy in school, and after we go home from school, we're tired already, and yet we still have so much schoolworks and projects, activities to do. So, di na talaga natin magagawa yung mga bagay na gusto natin gawin kasi we need to prepare for the next day of our classes. So, isa rin sa mga nagawa ko during this quarantine kasi nasa bahay lang naman tayo, and of course, we are asked to stay at home as much as possible, lalo na pag hindi naman masyadong importante yung mga bagay na gagawin natin sa labas, diba? Isa rin sa mga nagawa ko during this quarantine is yung ewan ko kung negative or positive ba to, pero alam ko relate lahat dito eh. Yung minsan na lang tayo naliligo kasi wala naman tayong ginagawa, nasa bahay lang naman, di ba? Para at least siguro para makasave din ng ng sabon, shampoo, di ba? I know that I feel you guys. Means every other day lang din ako naliligo. Unlike before the pandemic, di ba? Every day kasi may klase tayo, and of course, kahit sa weekends, busy pa rin tayo kasi may mga practices or else kaya may mga lakad tayo. And another thing for that is I still do skincare, but not as expensive as you think. All I ever have is facial wash. Yun lang, facial wash, morning and at night. And of course, I hope that during this quarantine, all of you guys are doing well, especially when it comes to your health. That I hope you guys are conscious when it comes to your health. Na kahit nasa bahay lang tayo, we should also still control our diet, diba? Because some of us nasa bahay na lang, and then walang masyadong ginagawa, or if inuutusan, ayan, may ginagawa, pero pag wala, yun lang, phone, online classes, most of the time nasa screen tayo, and syempre minsan nagugutom tayo eh, kaya yung minsan panay order na lang sa Foodpanda, yung mga si Jollibee, sa McDo, yun, diba? I hope na we still take good care of our health, especially during this pandemic. And one of the reasons kasi this pandemic is we were able to spend less, but I don't think so sa situation nyo kasi mukhang during this pandemic, during this quarantine, parang medyo mas magasta ata kaysa sa kaysa sa ordinary days, yung life natin before pandemic. And I do hope that most of us here still take good care of our body, that we should do proper exercise, proper diet, and yung iba sa inyo, goal nyo nga, na after ng pandemic or after ng COVID is sana papayat na ako, sana tataba na ako, yun, yung mga ganyan na mga bagay. And you can achieve that. It's not hard to achieve that. As long as you are determined enough, as long as you are determined enough for that thing, it will not be possible for you. It will not be impossible for you to achieve that. And as I end this vlog, I hope that you guys will like, share, and subscribe our video. Please, we really need your help. And I hope you guys would find the things you were able, and I hope you guys were able to develop and enhance your skills during this pandemic. And don't forget to take good care of your body, right? Take good care of your physical self. That you should also give importance to your body. And yun lang. I hope every one of you will stay safe, and thank you for watching.
Physical self.
Hi guys, for today's vlog, I will be sharing to you the different experiences during this time of pandemic. So during this time, nagiging conscious na tayo sa katawan natin, like physical body, our appearance, and also sa mga face natin, diba? Maraming nag-glow. And during this time also, nagiging health conscious na yung mga tao. Kasi, kailangan natin yan sa katawan natin, sa panahon ngayon dahil sa pandemic or sa sakit na kumakalat ngayon. During this time also, marami na rin yung nag-workout and nag-glow. Sana all nag-glow na. And during this time also, dito natin na-realize na marami tayong talento. Dito natin nalaman yung mga bagay na hindi pa natin nagagawa dati. This pandemic also it has a positive and a negative side. So this time, the positive side is we have a family bonding, right? Yung mga dating tao na hindi natin nakakamusta is nakakamusta na natin. Kumusta kayo dyan? Okay lang kami dito. Anong ginagawa nyo? Kumusta si ganito? Kumusta si ganyan? Yung mga magkaaway dati, dito rin lumabas na nakita mo kung ano talaga sila kasi nagtutulungan na. This time also is din ko na-realize na marami akong sa sarili ko na side is marami akong hindi nalaman sa sarili ko na sa pandemic ko lang nakita. And also our bonding also is mas lumaki and mas nakilala ko kung ano talaga yung sarili ko. And the positive side, the negative side also is though this virus is nakakamatay, marami siyang tao na napitil ng buhay, pero the negative side of this is yung hindi na tayo nakakalabas ng basta-basta. We cannot go outside like kagaya ng dati na makakapunta tayo kahit saan. Pag may problema tayo, pwede tayong pumunta sa lugar na yan. Like, gusto natin maging, naghahanap tayo ng stress reliever. Like, pupunta tayo ng beach, going outside, kahit saan yung magpunta, okay lang. And we cannot go out without friends na, like, nang kagayang dati na nakakalabas tayo ng kahit saan. Like, after class is, kung stress tayo or marami tayong ginagawa, pupunta tayo sa isang lugar na pwede tayong doon natin, yung banding, doon tayo makakapaglabas ng sama ng loob, something like that. And we miss our going to Ross Night Market, diba? Most doon tayo kumakain kasi mas mura, diba doon? Doon yun kasi, nandun yung lahat eh. Yung mga klase-klaseng Pinoy ng pagkain nandun. And if gusto mong church gathering, right? Yung mga youth gathering, yung mga ganun, yung youth camping, we miss our school, right? Yung school natin, like how we bonding with each other, with our classmates, diba? So, the first day is di tayo kakilala, pero as times goes by, nakikilala mo yung classmates, doon yung nabubuo yung mga banding, diba? Iba kasi ngayon, kasi nasa online class lang tayo, mahirap mag-usap sa mga class natin, kasi hindi natin alam kung interesado ba sila sa atin o hindi. Like, something like that. And this pandemic also makes us realize na we need to pray. We need to pray because God will answer our prayer. And God will always provide us and guide us always. So, this pandemic also is, makakabangon din. Maraming mga pagsubok na dumating sa buhay, maraming mang nawala, maraming mang during sa bagyo, yung sa Isabela and Cagayan, marami ding nawala na buhay. Pero dadating din yung panahon na makakabangon tayong lahat. Filipinos are strong, di ba? Alam natin yan. And also, I salute all the frontliners out there. Malaki yung respeto ko sa kanila. So guys, just stay at home. Always wear your mask every time you go outside. Follow the protocols na 2 meters distancing, right? And keep safe always, guys. And darating din yun ng panahon na makakabalik tayo kung ano man yung dating gusto natin mangyari. Tayong lahat gusto natin matapos na to kasi gusto na natin lumabas. Like kung ano yung mga dating ginagawa natin, I really miss going outside. Not just me, tayong lahat, diba? So guys, keep safe and God bless everyone. Thank you.
Guess what? So today, we'll be discussing about the political self and regarding about the new normal setup. So now, let us define politics. So according to Kendall 1998, politics is a social institution in which power is acquired and exercised by people in any groups. And also, politics was also made before in order to lessen out the chaos in a country, in a society, or a community. Now, let's get to political self. According to Maria Serena Jokno, political self is acquired through socialization. Political self does not just roam around yours. It also deals with the suggestions, the comments, and the opinions of people. Let us now discuss the 5 origins of the political self. Number 1 would be family, next is school, church, peers, and lastly, that would be mass media. So for the first one, which is the family. So as we know, family is the basic unit of a society. So how can someone practice political self in a family? As we all know, being a part of a family member, we have our positions, our roles, and also we know which authority we have. Just for like an example, like being a father, mother, or the eldest daughter or brother or the youngest sibling. So, by this, you are exercising your authority in a family. You know which position you are in, and you know what to do, and you know your responsibilities. So in this political self, you are practicing right now on how to build up your authority, just not by being in a family, but also would be essential when you will grow up and then meet new other people. So that is why the family is considered to be the basic unit of a society. And by this, by being at home, you are already knowing and practicing your political self. Next one would be school. So school is a very essential factor to us students until we grow up and we find our own path. So what does the school do in improving someone's political self? So actually political self in school, the school teaches you a lot of things, and not just by teaching things. They're also essential for instilling nationalism within you. And by being patriotic, you will know that you are a Filipino, and that pertains to political self. Since, according to Maria Serena Jokno, citizenship is also a part of political self. So by being Filipino and by instilling nationalism, you are also practicing your political self. You are following such protocols, you're following such laws, which the school is teaching you to be a very responsible citizen of the Philippines. So now we will be discussing about the church. So how is church related to political self? So the church teaches us good morals and right conduct, which is very essential to our growth of our political self. Just like for an example, in the church it teaches you to not kill, and also in the law it also explains that you should not kill. And that is how important the church in the political self, as it teaches you to not be ignorant, it teaches you what is right or wrong, it helps you discern what is the right thing or wrong to do. So it really helps you in your decision making and in your lives whenever you plan out something.
So next is peers. So as we all know, I think we have our peers, and by having peers, you are exercising your authority, and that is part of the political self. And by being a group, there can be a leader, there can be a member, or any one of them can be a leader at any time, as long according to their discussion. And by that, you are also exercising your authorities and giving aside your authorities to someone if it's needed. And that is how political self is done in being with the peers. Now, for the last one, which is the mass media. So mass media is very rampant nowadays, especially that we are just in our homes. So how does the mass media teach you about the political self, and how is it so important to you? So mass media is very important to us Filipinos, just like in helping you or making you decide on which leader or whose leader are you going to vote and choose. It also deals with your discernment on which right is wrong. It also teaches you like where is a hoax source of information. So yeah, mass media is also the key source to information. Without mass media, we won't be having any news from around the world. We won't be knowing about the current situation that has been happening in the country or even around the world. And that is how important is the mass media to the political self. And that is not to be ignorant about everything. It teaches you even more and gives your mind like a sense of knowledge, and not just by being empty all the time. So I think I have given a brief description about the political self and its origin, which is the 5 factors, which is the school, the family, the church, and the peers, the mass media. So now I will refer you to my partner, who will be explaining the political self in the new normal. So for the question, how can we such develop political self in the new normal? As we all know that everything has been changed. There are lots of normal things that have been changed, and accept that it is the reality right now. So I will refer you to Eddie de la Peña, who will be explaining his experiences with his political self despite the new normal setup.
So ang experience ko naman ngayon sa new normal setup with my family, ngayon mas marami kaming oras sa isa't isa na kapag-usap at katanong-tanong sa mga bagay-bagay. At sa bahay natin, meron tayong mga batas or nasusunod. Minsan, yung tatay. Dito sa bahay namin, yung lolo ko. At nakatulong siya sa political self ko. So, ang experience ko sa new normal setup sa school, alam naman natin ngayon na online class lang, pero natuturo pa rin ng mga guro ang dapat nilang ituro sa atin, mga estudyante. At nadagdagan din ng knowledge ko sa political self by promoting nationalism. So ngayon, ang experience ko naman sa church, alam naman natin ngayon na di na katulad dati na marami ang nakakapunta dahil sa new normal setup. So kahit ganon, naituturo pa rin nila ang mga good moral, at yun ay nakakatulong sa political self ko. So, sa mass media, syempre, diyan tayo ngayon kumukuha ng information or balita, naririnig at nakikita natin sa TV or di kaya sa social media. At nakatulong siya sa political self ko dahil marami akong nakukuha information, di lang dito sa lugar namin, kundi sa iba't ibang lugar pa. So, ang experience ko naman sa peers ay yung time na naglalaro kami ng mga kaibigan ko ng ML. Dahil alam naman natin ngayon sa new normal setup, di na katulad ng dati. So, sa online games lang talaga kami nagbabanding. At habang naglalaro kami, syempre, isa lang ang goal namin, ang manalo. Minsan may magtatayo bilang isang leader, minsan naman wala. Pero mas maganda talaga yung merong leader dahil maganda ang kinalabasan.
good day. So my name is Ivonne Garcia and I am here to tackle about digital aspect of the self. So what is digital aspect of the self first?
Digital self is the aspect of the self that is expressed or shared with others through online interactions on the internet.
And that is the meaning of digital aspect of the self. And it also explains what is the aspect. Oh, who am I in the cyber world? Social media is a fun way to keep tab on anything on what we know and what to do.
According to Mr. Prince Laguna,
Hi guys, so we're back again. Digital self. It is persona you use when you're online. Some people maintain one or more online identifiers that are distinct from the real world self. Others have a single online self that's more or less the same as the one they inhabit in the real world. Me, I also use social media, but it does not keep my privacy open to everyone. So why do we need to be careful about what we do online? Our posts, shared, friends, address, what others post about us is all part of digital identity. Digital identity is defined as a set of characteristics that identify us within the internet. How to become a responsible online behavior? 1. Do not post or send anything that will embarrass you. 2. Avoid posting statements when experiencing strong emotions. 3. Do not hang out with the wrong crowd online. 4. Be careful with oversharing, especially confidential information that may be used irresponsibly. And the last one, respect other people in the online community. And that is all about digital aspect of the self. Hi guys, so I want to share my experience. Alam kong lahat tayo ngayon naghihirap, yung mga estudyante, yung mga teachers, and these are the factors na na-experience ko ngayon sa new normal. The first one is poor internet connection. So, naka-experience ako na wala kaming wifi dito for almost 2 months ata yun. So, I need to go out and buy a load. So, kailangan ko pang pumunta sa labas para lang makasagip ng internet kasi may live signal dito sa loob ng bahay. Tsaka, para lang makapasa sa mga kailangan ipasa, kailangan gagawin, tsaka makasali sa mga Google Meet, tsaka yung mga may time limit na mga quiz and exams. Tapos yung Google Form nyo is biglang ma-refresh. So, wala na. Balik kayo naman sa una. Tapos, ayun, struggle siya, no? So second is social interaction. Yung may meeting kayo, tapos may group project pala, so kailangan nyo mag-meeting. Tapos yung ibang members nyo hindi available sa oras na yon. Tapos yung iba busy, yung iba naman may na yung internet, yung iba is walang internet connection, yung iba offline talaga. So mahirap siya mag-come up ng mga ideas and plans para sa project niyo. At saka yung may tanong ka sa teacher is hindi mo agad direkta na masasabi, hindi mo agad matatanong agad-agad. And the third one is distraction. So yung nasa Google Meet ka, tapos biglang may mabas ng mga shotheads, ayun, wala na yung attention mo, nakuha na doon sa Messenger. Tsaka, tapos sa notification, meron naman doon yung mga online games, meron doon yung Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, wala na. Imbis na mag-focus ka doon sa Google Meet, wala na yung focus mo kasi nakuha na sa ibang bagay. And that's all, thank you. And my name is Ivonne Garcia from Bachelor of Science, Business Administration. See you guys, bye-bye!
Hi guys! Good day! So for today's video, we will discuss about physical aspect, political aspect, and digital aspect. First, let me show you the physical aspect. So my group mates made a video of what they did during the pandemic. So first, let me show you my video about physical aspect as well as Oliveros and Overton. So let's start! It's just a skin routine because I don't want to apply too much products on my face because it will irritate my skin. First things first is wash my face truly, and then I put my eyes on my face, and lastly is a pimple eraser and apply the area where my pimple is. So that's it. Thank you. let's eat. Let's proceed to Obregon and Oliveras. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Nice one! Nice one, Red! Nice one, Red! Nice one! Nice one, Red! Nice one, Red! Nice one!
Hi guys! So today, nandito ako sa gym para mag-workout.
Hi guys, our topic is all about material self. So in the material self, all of the things that we invest for ourselves or the things that we have bought from the store, even in the mall, reflects our personality and perspective in life. The way we use them, the way we take good care of the things that we have. So our classmates gives their question all about material self. So the first question is, why a lot of people bought things even if it is not needed? So in my opinion, it depends on the situation. If a person loves to buy anything, even if it is not needed, it is his or her own choices. So the second question is, it is true that every person has a likes and dislikes in terms of the things that they bought, especially clothes? Yes, because as William James stated, as we have our clothes or stuffs, it reflects our personality, the way we use and the way we wear our clothes.
So, our classmate asked me some questions about material self. First, this question is from Miss Bridget. Why clothes is important to the material self? It is important because clothes can also define of who we are. Clothes is a reflection of what we feel. Depends on our mood. When we are in a good mood, we can wear beautiful and unique clothes. We can wear a beautiful OOTD because we are good mood. And then, if we are bad mood, we can wear ugly and useless clothes because we are already bad mood. So that the clothes is a reflection of what we feel. It is defined of who we are. Second question, why body is the core of material self? This is from Miss Sales. So, body is the core of material self because it is the innermost part of material self. We always make sure that our body is functioning well and better. We are striving hard to make our body good in all times. We are deeply affected to the things we had because we put much investment ourselves to them. So let's go on with Miss Marifa Mijares.
However, for today's video, we will answer questions given by my roommates about material aspect of a person. Material aspect is important to every person because it contributes fulfillment to our own self and we can express our own self and allow us to boost our self-confidence and we can be the person that we want to be. Material aspect has a big impact to our own self. And one of the most common example of that is the way we wear. People can judge us the way we wear, the way we style, and also it consider us one of the basis of acceptance and rejections in our own self. I choose shoes because I am type of girl that prefer to wear shoes that are heels and because I am happy and comfortable with it and most of my friends know me as a shoe lover. And also I don't really have a specific reason why I love shoes. I'm just used to it. So that's all for material aspect and now we will move on to another aspect.
good day everyone. I am here to explain a political self as a Filipino. First, let us define what is political self. So, political self explores how much social and economic context profoundly affect our mental health and well-being, and how modern neuroscientific and psychodynamic research can both contribute to and enrich our understanding of this wider discussion. And politics is also etymologically defined as affair of cities. Another definition of politics is it is a process of making decision that applies to all members of a group, and an important aspect of politics is the capacity to influence and lead a group of people. And most especially, politics has the ability to govern and control over a group of people in a community, state, or nation. Politics also, it can be inferred from this new that person's ability to influence others by making decisions for them is one of the essential qualities in one's political self. So there are two types of influential government. So the first one is the normative influence. It is a type of social influence that is based on conforming to the positive expectation of others. And the second one is the informational influence. It is a type of influence based on accepting the information obtained from others as the evidence of reality. So let us move on to the new topic, which is the seeking the Filipino identity. A complete and comprehensive idea of a Filipino identity is not easy to identify because of the rich culture each set and subset of Filipino living within the Philippines have. History has shown as Filipino identity has evolved from the pre-colonial period to the colonial period and in the present also. So according to the 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 4, Section 1, these are the citizens of the Philippines. So you are a citizen of the Philippines if those who have father and mother are the citizens of the Philippines. The next one is those born before January 17, 1973 of the Filipino mother who elect Philippine citizenship upon reaching the age of majority. And the last one is those who are naturalized in accordance of law. I have this question to you guys. So, what do you think makes you a Filipino? And allow me to discuss the historical background of a Filipino. The role of the young people cannot be ignored in the shaping of our identity, for it's from the rock where Dr. Jose Rizal came from. So, according to the historian Leon Guerrero, Rizal had race jealousy. This race jealousy gave Rizal an impassioned pursuit towards proving that Filipinos are not Indios and that they are race worthy of being given equal opportunity and freedom. And let us move to the democracy, from theirs to ours. The inception of democracy was derived from the colonizer tradition and continued by the elite who took it over. This ideology was handed down to us by the Americans, and we have been taught to pattern ourselves according to their brand of government. The idea of democracy did not emerge from our identity, but it was forced on us and rigidly shaped us and our identity according to the definition given by our colonizer, most especially the United States of America.
Hi everyone! So welcome to Digital Self. So what is Digital Self? Digital Self is the aspect of the self that is expressed or shared with others through online interactions on the internet, especially with the social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Viber, and many more. During the quarantine, I'm spending more time with social media because I cannot go outside because I'm just 19 years old. I make myself busy with the social media doing TikTok, posting new pictures in different angles of our house because of this pandemic, I am more dependent with the internet. My mom once told me that I make the internet as my new world. Because I use the internet to attend classes and also gathering information in terms of searching. I use the internet to communicate with our teachers and friends because there is no other way to communicate to them but only in social media. Millions of people engage in social media use of digital technology has now become part of the self. People tend to post or upload information on social media and create their version of themselves. That's all. Thank you. Bye bye. Please like and subscribe. Bye.
Good day everyone, in this part of video, I will discuss the wondrous concept of physical self and how every person can relate, especially you, of what can you do to yourself to become the better version you always dream of. First of all, you should always remember that each and every person is unique, not just in personality, but also the style of how they present themselves in social aspects. So don't let your shortcomings dictate you to degrade the value of yourself. Just like the great philosopher Plato once said, the body is temporary, but the soul is immortal. So having a good character is more important than a physical self. But this doesn't mean that we should forget about this aspect, so let's dig in deeper. The physical self refers to our body as it is a tangible object that can be directly observed and examined. Just look at this picture. You can see and compare the differences by just having a look. And here are some theories of different perspectives of physical self. According to William James, The physical self considers the body as the initial source of sensation and necessary for the origin and maintenance of personality. For Erik Erikson, the role of bodily organs is especially important in early developmental stages of a person's life. The Indian tradition views growth and enlightenment as the whole body event, which is not possible until one has pure and strong body. What does having a good physical self entail? It may convey important message about your social status or culture, so people may use this as basis to judge you. And if you internalize the negative feedback, it may lower your self-esteem. And also, there's a cognitive bias that plays an important role, called halo effect. Halo effect refers to the tendency of people to rate attractive individuals more favorable for their traits or characteristics as compared to those people who are less. So this is apparent, especially in conversation with people. They are more attentive if the one you're talking to is attractive, otherwise they will want to finish the conversation as fast as possible. So this is why we should take care of our physical aspect and be always presentable. Thank you.
Hi guys, in this video we're going to talk about beauty and self-expressions across cultures. They say that beautiful is in the eye of the beholder. This means that beauty is relative. Each one of us has his own perception of beauty. So contrary to what a lot of people probably think, beautiful it holds a lot more meaning than you can possibly imagine. Apart from the physical aspect of beauty, which means being beautiful in the outside, it can also be means that you have a beautiful soul, you have a beautiful smile, you have a beautiful character, or anything. However, what the majority of people don't realize is that you can be beautiful in one country, but not even the slightest attractive in the other one. That's because every country has its own culture, and every culture has its own perception of beauty. So I'm going to show you some picture examples of how different cultures define their own perception of beauty. In Kayan culture of Burma, long graceful necks are considered as symbols of beauty and elegance. Women belonging to this ancient culture wear multiple brass rings coiled up around their necks at a very young age, and the number of rings increases as the woman grows older. This woman can wear up to 20 pounds of rings when they are adults. Women in Mauritania are lauded for gaining weight, as supersized bodies are considered extremely beautiful, sending young girls to fat camps where they are fed up to 15 calories a day. In their culture, being bigger in size makes a woman more desirable as wives. In Ethiopia and Sudan, intricate body scars that form multiple designs are a symbol of beauty for both men and women. Those who take part in this practice undergo excruciating pain to look beautiful, with facial scarifications and scar patterns all over the body. The Maasai tribe started the practice of ear stretching to alter their appearance and look more beautiful. However, cultures and tribes across the world now practice this art for various reasons, including physical beauty, religion, coming-of-age ceremonies, and even warding of evil. It is common among women even today in many tribes across Africa. The clay plate is the defining image of woman across Mursi and Sorma tribes in Africa. As soon as the girls of the community hits puberty, their two lower front teeth are removed and the hole is pierced in the bottom of the lip, that is then stretched out to accommodate the lip plate. The size of the lip plate gradually increased over the years as the ancient Chinese practice of foot binding, believed to have started around the 10th century, has long been abolished. However, there was a time when Chinese women underwent this painful practice to remove their bones of their feet into customary sizes to 3 to 5 inches by binding them. These lotus feet were believed to be beautiful as symbols of status and wealth in society. So now that you've seen some examples, let's talk about beauty through time. So of course, in our culture, our beauty here in the Philippines develop and evolve, as years goes by. And I found a clip on YouTube that, from Cut. They did a time-lapse of, time-lapse of makeup. They did a makeup on this girl that showing how the beauty of Philippines developed through the years. So as you can see, there's a lot of difference in evolution and development of perception of beauty in our culture here in the Philippines, and that really affects our image in the present, because sooner or later our beauty will develop and evolve as as time will pass. So the question here is physical beauty really important? For me personally, it's yes, because for a lot of people, especially teenagers like me, body image is closely linked to self-esteem, because body image is how you view your physical self, whether you feel you're attractive or how do you feel when people like your looks. Because if you have a positive body image, then you probably like and accept yourself and the way you are and who you are, even if you do not fit in the popular notion of beautiful or handsome. Our physical beauty is also important to our mental health, because it affects on how we feel when people see us, or what's their first impressions to us, or basically judge us on how we look. And that's really affects our emotions and how we think about our look. So I know that we all have our own personal insecurities about our body, and just like I said earlier, it is linked to our self-esteem. So let's just try to understand and appreciate on how people look, because people are complex and constantly changing. So let's just try to focus on what's unique and what's interesting about ourselves. So before I end this video, I just want to share and give my own personal thoughts and ideas about this topic. Just like I mentioned earlier, it really affects our self-esteem, and it is part of our mental health. So for me, you don't need to have a nice physical body or just to be beautiful, or at least being called beautiful. Being beautiful or handsome really depends on how you see yourself. It's all about mindset. Like, you just need to be positive and accept how you look like and what you are. Being confident is more than enough to be beautiful. Acceptance is the key to be confident. You don't think about what people think about how you look like how other people think about you. Just accept and be confident.
So what's up guys, this is Ronald Rasma, and today's video we're gonna talk about what is material self and why we need to talk about this and why we need to know about this material self very well. So without further ado, let's start. So there's one person who said that material self is has 4 components. It includes the body, the cloth, home, and immediate family. So remember that the primary components that includes in the material self. But before we will go through that, let's know about this man who said that. So he is a father of American psychology, and he is a Harvard psychologist in the late 19th century, who wrote the book The Principles of the Psychologist, and that the understanding of self can examine through different components, and which he used the term as the empirical self, which refers to all of the various ways of people in answering the question, who am I? So do you know yourself fully or not totally? Well, for me, answering the question, who am I, I can't answer it directly to the point, because honestly guys, I didn't know myself fully as who I am really. Maybe if I am rating that over 100%, maybe I am the 80% over 100. So again, there is 3 components from the empirical self that he is talking about. The first one is constituents, the second one is the self-feelings, and the third one is self-seeing and self-preservation. So in the first constituents, it includes the material self, the social self, the spiritual self, and the pure ego. While the self-feelings, it is self-feelings, it's common. It is the feelings that you know, or something like it is the feelings that you feel right now. Maybe you have problems and you feel that you are sad, that you are happy, or mad, so that is considered as a feelings that includes an emotions that you exert. While the self-seeing and self-preservation rather is about, like for example, you are in the supermarket and you saw or you see a wonderful and beautiful cloth and you wanted to buy it, but instead you don't have money, so you ask the owner to preserve it just for you, because maybe you come back tomorrow to pay for that. So something that is considered as self-seeing and self-preservation. So without further ado, let us talk about the material self that includes again the 4: the body, the home, the immediate family, and the clothing. So here we go. But before that, let's take a minute. Well, those that 4 primarily we are deeply affected of ourselves or by these things, because we have put much investment of ourselves to them. That's according to William James. So let's talk about what is the body under the material self. So in the body, according to the core of James William, he said that body is the innermost part of our material self. Are you agree? Second, he said that we strive hard to make sure that this body functions well and good. So yes, it's true, because our body is ourself, right? So without our body is useless, we cannot do everything. So we must check ourselves if we are in a good in good conditions, or shall I say all of the parts of our body will functioning well or not. And he said that making sure it functions well and good. So that is what I'm talking about. Well, in my perspective also, the body is within ourselves whenever and wherever we are, in which we evaluate all throughout. Do you agree with me? Yes, indeed. That's it. That's the body, okay? And before I forget, the body is very important for us, because we can't do anything what we want to do if our body is so weak and not functioning. So we make it sure that all the body parts that we have is functioning well and in a good condition. For the second, James Williams said the cloth is a second to the body. He felt a person's clothes were important to the material self. What he's trying to say? Well, he believes that a person's clothes were one way they express who they felt they wear, or clothes were a way to show the status, thus contributing to the forming and maintaining one's self-image. So that is really true, because cloth is one way for us, or it is a second way for us to live here in this world, because you know that cloth gives us more what they call textures. It gives us more brighter and shiner of who we are. And cloth is very important because it reflects the individual culture, personality, and preferences. And people can enhance personal appearance and protect the body from the extreme temperature. So we know that the essence or the purpose of cloth is to help or to cover our body from the extreme temperature. Like for example, in the afternoon, we know that the sun is so extreme, like burns our skins or something like that. Wherein cloth are the most second essential part of the self. So it can be distinguished. So that is the cloth, okay? And one thing, Herman Lotze, he said there that anytime we bring, let me read that, an object into the surface of our body, we invest that object into the consciousness of our personal existence, taking its contours to be our own and making it part of the self. So again, that is part of the cloth where, I think he's trying to say here that we very invest ourselves into the cloth, and you can't deny that because you have many cloth, right? So you invest much money for that, wherein you invest it because you love that, you like that. Because I believe that the cloth that we are wearing every day is really reflect our personality, and it really reflects our attitude, if who we are and if who I am. So something like that. So now let's proceed to the immediate family. Well, immediate family, they are one of our near ourselves, because if our families or one of the member families dies or getting failures, then we feel it to the same with them, because that is near in ourselves, and they are always anyway, just to clear it out, the immediate family is talking about the parents, siblings, and other family members, wherein we view them as a part of ourselves. So that is what I am talking about earlier. That is what I am mentioning earlier, that immediate family is very near for us. So if what happens to our relatives, to our friends, to our parents, our siblings, so we feel it too. Like if they are sad, then it feels us sad. It feels me sad. If they feel like getting big failure, not success, so it's a big deal for me because I'm too sad because they are not success. So immediate family is something like you are planting yourself for them, that you are very near to them. As you are, I think this is the third essential important thing in our lives. And the last one is the home. So okay, let me check first. So according to James Williams, that home is where our heart is, and it is the earliest nearness of our self-hood, and the home is an extension self, because we can directly connect with ourselves. So it's true. So he has a quotation: a man's self is the sum total of all what he can call his. That's the quote of William James. So going back to the home, yes, it is very near in our self, because it's your home, no? Bahay mo yun. Parang yan na yung parang fourth essential self, na parang without your home, it's useless, because home, or having a home, you can express what you want to express, and you can do whatever you want to do. And basically, home is an extension of ourselves to determine what kind of the things we can do. Yeah, that's it. So that would be all. Thank you guys, and I hope that you understand what I'm talking about here, and I hope that all of you or the viewers who saw this vlog might get more lessons about it. That is very important for us. So that would be all. Thank you, and have a bye bye.
Hi everyone, so good day. For today's video, we will be talking about political self. But before we proceed to that topic, let us first have a quick discussion about politics. So what is politics? It is defined as a social institutions which power is acquired and exercised by people in the groups. So, in our government, we have the elected government officials. They have the power and they have their own positions because the people or the citizens in their country voted them. So, we have this phrase from Aristotle that
Man in nature is a political animal.
yes, because a man is a social creature with the power of speech and moral reasoning. Many politicians are competing for the positions they want. They do their best, they give their power to win. So now let us discuss about what is political self.
Organizes one's beliefs, attitudes, and affiliations. It constitutes knowledge about the Constitution, government, and governance.
It aids or it helps process information that is related or that is only applicable to politics. And it makes up or form the understanding or knowledge about the Constitution, the government, and how the people in the government acts or governs. It shows or illustrates the principles and aspirations of a people and the people's way of thinking, and it also determines the status and power of the people. So normally a person or we have different ways, we have our own ways to express ourselves, to express our beliefs and our understanding. We defend what we believe is right, and political self is how an individual engages himself in political issues.
Often defined by citizenship. As Serena Jokno, citizenship is the most basic identification with the nation. Person relates himself or herself to a group of others who also see themselves as citizen of a larger polity.
When we say citizenship, it signifies a membership of an individual in a political community, meaning you are a member or part of a certain country. For example, me, I was born and raised here in the Philippines, and both my parents are Filipino citizens. Political self and identity are developed through socialization, through the ways of people learn the knowledge, norms, values, motives, and even the roles appropriate or fit to their position in a group of community. And through interaction, people learn the status, rights, and power necessary to interact successfully with other people in a group or community. Political self is influenced and modified by opinions, by comments, and suggestions of other people. The family has a hierarchical structure through hierarchy of positions, status, and power.
Example is the father. He is the head. He acts as a leader and establishes rules to maintain order in the family. He also provides the needs of the family. She is the advisor and the decision maker. She decides where the money goes, what to do with the money, and she teaches good morals. Child, their roles is to obey and have respect with their parents.
This shows that authority is necessary in the development of political self and identity. The school's responsibility is to teach moral, spiritual, and political values that will help the students to become patriotic and morally upright citizens. Political self can be seen in social media. We have this mass media. It is the key to the source of information on politics. And political self is a representation of oneself about herself. And it is a public identity that one's make and construct about herself to be.
So I hope you guys learned something, and thank you for watching.
So, we have here a Filipino hospitality. We have here a cheerful personality. Respect for elders.
when we say digital, it is all about your online self. What you present yourself in the web is your digital self. There are some personal things you can disclose in your social media, like your name, age, birthday, and address. You can also share more personal info like your preferences, your hobbies, or your relationship status. The main reason why we share our digital self is the social approval. People are naturally hungry for others' approval. That's why they share personal things, positive things that to others so that they will be liked. When you say digital self, identity comes in. It is a collection of your characteristics that specify yourself. You can change some of these, like your hair color, while you cannot change some of these, which, for example, your birthday, your age, you cannot change that. And another thing is your online identity. It is the sum of your characteristics and your interactions on the social media, in the internet, and wherever online. There is also partial identity, which is just a subset of your whole identity, meaning it's just a fraction of your whole identity. For example, 1/4 of your whole identity is your partial identity. Another one is your persona, which also appears in specific situations. Like, for example, your online persona is a jolly one. Well, and also it is different from your whole identity, which differs from person to person.
What is physical self? Physical self refers to the body, this marvelous container and complex, finely tuned machine with which we interface with our environment and fellow beings. The physical self is the concrete dimension, the tangible aspect of the person that can be directly observed or examined. William James considered body as the initial source of sensation and necessary for the origin and maintenance of personality. However, James considered body as subservient to the mind. For James, the body is an expressive tool of indwelling consciousness, and good physical health is something that flows up from the every part of the body of a muscularly well-trained human being, and soaks the indwelling soul in him with satisfaction. It is an element of spiritual hygiene of supreme significance. One self-concept, also called self-construction, self-identity, self-perspective, or self-structure, is a collection of beliefs about oneself. Generally, self-concept embodies the answer to who am I? One's self-perception is defined by one's self-concept, self-knowledge, self-esteem, and social self. One's self-concept is made up of self-schemas and their past, present, and future selves. Self-concept is distinguishable from self-awareness, which refers to the extent to which self-knowledge is defined, consistent, and currently applicable to one's attitudes and dispositions. Self-concept also differs from self-esteem. Self-concept is a cognitive or descriptive component of oneself, while self-esteem is evaluative and opinionated. Self-concept is made up of one's self-schemas and interacts with self-esteem, self-knowledge, and the social self to form the self as a whole. It includes the past, present, and future selves, where future selves or possible selves represent individuals' ideas of what they might become, what they would like to become, or what they are afraid of becoming. Possible selves may function as incentives for certain behavior. The perception people have about their past or future selves relate to their perception of their current selves. Physical ability includes concepts such as physical strength and endurance, while appearance refers to attractiveness.
like a river, 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 like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. How do we fall in love? Harder than a bullet could hit ya. How do we fall apart? Faster than a hairpin trigger. Don't you say it, don't you say it. Don't say it, don't you say it. One breath, it'll just break it. So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hand, pulling, make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Drop this love till the veins start to shiver. Pulling that breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Tales of an endless fight. Cursed is a fool who's willing. Can't change the way we are. One kiss away from killing. Don't you say it, don't you say it. Don't say it, don't you say it. One breath, it'll just break it. So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hand, pulling, make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Drop this love till the veins start to shiver. Pulling that breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Like a river, 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 like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hand, pulling, make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Drop this love till the veins start to shiver. Pulling that breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river.
Filipinos are. But don't you know, these are only characteristics imposed to us by foreigners, and they do not shape us. We as Filipinos shape ourselves.
Jose Rizal, often called the first Filipino, gave his greatest life contribution through the tripartite view. It is autonomy of mentality, separate from colonialism, that shaped the Filipino identity.
When the Spanish first came to the Philippines, they introduced the bipartite view of the Dimdiwana. This means the Philippines were in darkness before their arrival, and were only enlightened through the colonization by the Spanish. Through Rizal's success of the Islas Filipinas, no limitante en el filibusterismo, he showed that the means of progressive version, using Liwanag, the name Liwanag, against the Spanish colonization who only stunted Filipino progress and shut us into darkness. Only through the revolution and seeking of freedom did the Filipinos reach light once again.
With an established society of social systems, valiant trade, and ancestor worship, the Philippines did not need the imposition of foreigners. Rizal is as relevant as he was in the past to today, because Filipinos need to be independent, an identity not imposed or given by foreigners, but an identity of our own.
Developing a Filipino identity. Who is a Filipino? The Philippines today has only emerged in the 1980s after over 3 centuries colonization of the Spaniards. Meanwhile, the Japanese only occurred in 1946. Foreign culture, beliefs, language, and religion have made a huge dent on our own by setting a foundation to the contemporary Filipino identity and culture. Filipino have truly developed an identity of their own, or are we still living in the shadow of our colonial friends? The individual's race, ethnicity, and physical characteristics are not the only factors that make a person's national identity. The importance of values and traits are set apart the nationality from the other. These values and traits may not always be a positive thing, but being able to identify oneself apart from other nationalities and point out weakness and mistakes, paired with unity and progress, a possibility. What do Filipinos value? The term kapwa, or a shared inner self, lies at the core of Filipino values and psychology. A person who treats another as a kapwa has a shared sense of identity and consciousness with that other person. Both at the individual and community level, strong emphasis is placed on social acceptance and maintaining social harmony. As such, social approval and caring about what others will think, say, or do strongly influence social behavior.